Harry cried, startled to realize this painful thing. Everything has been a mess since Meghan walked in. Harry's star has fallen quite a bit, and soon enough it looks like it's going to sink below the horizon. Now, when they got married, Harry was second only to the Queen in the royal popularity stakes. He couldn't have been happier to be up there, and Meghan was really up there too. And then things started to go south. Seems like Meghan believed, and she convinced Harry, that because they were above William and Catherine in public opinion, they should get equal billing, and maybe they should even be higher up in the hierarchy. They should be the ones to be king and queen after Charles. They should also get equal shares of the Duchy of Cornwall's income, and I suspect that Meghan went to Charles to put forth that idea. Well, they told them, you're out of your minds, and so then they were sent packing. That's not the way things are done. The laws of succession are clear, the oldest child to the oldest living child. Popularity does not figure into it. And the result was they weren't very happy, and so then they ran away, because they were not able to make the top job. So they thought they'd run off to California and finally discover fame and fortune, and then be able to lord it over the Prince and Princess of Wales. Oh yeah, you may be the king, but we're a lot wealthier than you are and more famous too. And they wanted to be half in, half out royals. Well, they didn't want to do the service that Prince William was busy doing. They wanted to be able to cherry pick the events they wanted to attend, and then they would go to Hollywood and earn like the A-list celebrities they believed themselves to be. They also wanted to be able to make money off their Sussex Royal merch website, and the Queen said absolutely not to that as well. They thought they were going to be able to represent the Queen in the US, on full pay by the way, and with fully paid security, but then they would be free to make whatever money they wanted to on the side. Meghan could kickstart her Hollywood career once and for all. Producers and directors would finally be excited to work with her. They were going to be offering her so much money, multi-millions of dollars, just for brief appearances. They thought they were going to have it all. Fame, celebrity, free security, a free home in LA, all paid for by the British taxpayers. And then the Queen said, I don't think so. Royalty is a life of service. So they had to pay their own way. If only Harry's relatives had just left him more money, wah, wah, wah. Their failure is their own fault, thanks to their entitlement and their arrogance, but still, they're wanting an apology from the royal family. How dumb can they be? They had such an excellent opportunity to do real good work and to be influential in a positive way, and they ruined it, thanks to their arrogance, their vanity, and their delusion about their prospects outside of the royal family. And then they had to do that horrible Oprah interview. I mean, was it Meghan's fault? Who knows? And what about that horrible book Spare? It doesn't really matter, but the British public is not going to be fooled by their behavior anymore. And at this point, nobody in the UK likes Harry. What's more, there's really nothing he can do about it at this point. It's too late for him. It only took 5 years. Pretty amazing, huh? Harry and Meghan have just allowed their horrible, mean supporters, the Sussex Squad members, to bully close members of the royal family for the past 5 years now, even the Wales children, and also people who have criticized them in social media after they got married. They're dangerous, they're a couple of predators, they're narcissistic, and they're stalkers. I do hope that the people they go after have good protection. Their latest attacks and lies about the Beckhams is nasty, and it's a shame how certain racist and liberal elites try to protect them. Those Sussex Sugars, though, the Squad or something else, I tell you, they are the most aggressive, nasty people. I think Dan Wooten hit the nail on the head. Those cyberbully Sugars are never going to stop, even when everything nasty about the two of them is true. They are going to continue to live in their fantasy land, where everything is so beautiful and bright and Sussex. It doesn't really matter that the storm is brewing. People in the Sussex Squad are poor excuses for human beings. They are going to eventually, though, grow out of supporting Meghan and her horrible behavior. The only problem with that is their nasty posts are going to stay up on the internet forever. Well, you know what? That's their problem. You know Meghan would also throw them under the bus if she needed to in a heartbeat. I guess they've all just taken too many psychedelics to be able to understand reality at this point. They appreciate their sugar haze. They think it's okay to be so vulgar and obnoxious and vile to anybody who dares to disagree with them. And I've been at the receiving end before of some of their hatred, so I'm speaking from personal experience here. But karma's gonna come to get them eventually. You know how the saying goes, too much sugar is not good for your health. And we know those sugars are not healthy people. They're not capable of logical thinking. It's so important to remember that the criticism they have gotten is thanks to their own lies and the contradictions that we hear from them all the time. It's not because of some twisted or concocted version of somebody else's mind. It's just from observing the treatment of their own families, the videos they've put out, the photos, and also their proven past behaviors. I mean, obviously that stuff spills over into who they are today. And I'm not even going to go into a list of all their disgusting schemes and their horrible behavior. The list would be way too long. We all know about it anyway, it's old news at this point. People who have been interested to know facts are not going to have to read through that stuff again, and people who don't want to know, well, they're not going to read it anyway. Or if they do, they're just going to dismiss it as tabloid gossip, even as the very words are spilling out of their own mouths. The snarky, abusive attacks against the royal family have never been substantiated with any real facts except these partial quotes or proven lies, deliberate, made up misinformation, and stuff like that from some other poster on some other social media site. So essentially, it's just a bunch of gossip. It really is just tabloid fodder. It's just throwing around accusations, trying to insult beauty inside and out with personal comments against both William and Catherine. It reminds me of some kind of junior high playground mean girl stuff. Catherine has never pretended to be a supermodel. The fact is, she has never pretended to be anything. She's just amazing naturally. She's incredibly kind, she's gracious, and yes, she is gorgeous. She has never been distracted from the crowd in search of the camera so that she could just think about how wonderful she was. She was never a prostitute building a bank account by doing tricks for old men and doing some type of gang-size parties of men. She doesn't have a thing to hide. The woman has no skeletons in her closet. And you know what, sugars? I hope you listen to this. William is going to be king and Catherine is going to be queen. Meghan and Harry are going to continue to be nobody for the rest of their days. They had the world offered to them on a silver platter and they were the ones who walked away. It doesn't matter what you say. In spite of all your insults, in spite of all the money that you are tossing away by supporting the two of them, we know the truth. And perhaps you can tell us what they actually do. What have they really done that's made a positive impact? Something that hasn't been done better by at least 100 people before. It doesn't matter what you say or do. Harry and Meghan are never going to rise higher than they are right now. And they're going to have to curtsy and bow to William and Catherine, if, of course, the two of them are even allowed to visit. But let me tell you this, they will never be the King and Queen of England and the Great Commonwealth. But I guess you can just keep on acting like that's going to happen. You're the ones who are going to realize the truth eventually. And you, do you agree with me? If yes, please like and share my video with anybody else who would enjoy it. If not, let us know the reason why, and we can also discuss this couple.